Hey, true believers, we have now made it to Blackest Nights, issue 3. And if you've been keeping up, this book finally gives you some answers to the Black Lanterns. That's what really makes this particular issue interesting. But what makes it more interesting for me is Firestorm. We come to the current team of Jen and Jason, and you open it up and you're kind of wondering why we're getting this melodrama in the midst of the Blackest Nights. Jason's basically saying that because Jen is the one that writes co-pilot in his head, so she's basically the Dr. Stein and he's the kind of the Ronnie analog. Anyway, he's saying, we share these thoughts and I hear what you want for us, because they're apparently a couple. He goes, I just started college. You're barely out of high school. I'm not ready to get engaged, because in his mind he can see that all these thoughts of the future that she has for them. Because when we're superheroing around, our minds are linked. And your thoughts are about marriage and a family. And they're so strong, I can't help but hear them. It's just, I like you so much. Since I met you, everything's been so great. It's hard not to think about a future. And I want one too. I do. But right now I'm just trying to get through Chemistry 201. If my thoughts are bothering you, if it's better for us, maybe we shouldn't be Firestorm anymore. And before they could really have a couples talk about it, the Justice League priority alarm goes off. And in the next page, we can see why. The fight again continues with Martian Manhunter, the Flash, and Green Lantern. As well, now the added adage of Hawkman, who was not a Black Lantern to begin with, got the elongated man. And the artwork is just phenomenal. We have Sue Denby. I mean, it is intense. So Blackest Nights issue 3. Jeff Johns writer, Ivan Reyes colors, Auclair Albert with Joe Perotto inks, Alex Sinclair colors, Nick Napolitano doing the lettering, and there's everyone else working on the book. And I just love how things continue to just get intense, because I'd rather be spilling Green Arrow's blood, but I'll settle for your pompous ass, Jordan. Make him use his will, Peril, Carter. Make Hal fight back. It gets me hot. And this is Kindred talking, and you're just like, brf. And Hal's just like, that I don't think I want to see. And then a long game, and he goes, spill it, Barry. Seeing me, what are you feeling? A little fear? A little hope? Whoever did this to you crossed one hell of a line. Ooh, anger. I like it. So one thing I'm going to say, and I know I've ripped the original Metal event apart, is if you're not really reading the other books, because other than the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps that we're going over, there are so many others. There's the Justice Society, the Justice League, there's the Titans, so many other books. But at least when you come in here, if you're not following the other stuff, you're at least getting the main story here. And then Ronnie, I just like how they kind of gave him his angsts as a Black Lantern. I can't believe I didn't notice this before, Flash, but you're a lot like Professor Stein. You're both boring old dudes who know all about chemicals and gigawatts and junk. I hate thinking too hard about stuff like that. Sucks, but right now I don't have a choice. That there's a big empty spot in my head where the professor used to hang. I've got a vacancy that needs to be filled. And I like how Barry just says, the Ronnie Raymond I knew might have made less than average grades, but he never saw Professor Stein as a human database. And this, again, I want to point out, this is why I get so agitated that in a lot of modern comics, they make Barry Allen, the Flash, the comic relief. He's not the jokester. He's the type that has a big heart and always tries to be the voice of reason. That's why him and Hal work, because Hal goes off half-cocked. Barry is calculating. And that's why, like, seeing Ezra Miller and all these other characters have all these jokes, I'm like, make it somebody else. Make it Bart. Because Bart, Impulse, he's like that. Barry Allen is not. And that's why I hate all these new iterations like that, because it just does not work the way it's supposed to. Now, while all this is happening, here comes the ray out of one of the Black Lantern's rings. And Hal's like, where the hell did you come from? I jumped through the phone line to Carter's, hoping to have a little heart to talk. He took it literally. I shrunk down to get into his ring to get a better look. It's nothing like yours, Hal. Now, spoiler alert, this kind of starts to give you an idea of how the Black Lantern rings work. So if you don't want to be spoiled, go read the series and come back. And you're back. The ring has the same porous structure as bones, or dark matter, the unseen skeletal anatomy of the universe. It's laced with microscopic wormholes that are channeling some kind of energy to who knows where, who knows why. So you kind of get how it's reviving the dead, and we get more as we continue. Now, Jen and Jason, they come to the Justice League crypt. Like, this is totally creeping me out. And this is where they finally start to see what's going on across the world. And we start to see little glimpses of what's happening in other parts of the comics that are going on. Gotham, Smallville, all that good stuff. Now, one thing, Washington, D.C., there's supposed to be like a character named the Unnamed Soldier that becomes a Black Lantern. If you guys know who this is supposed to be, please let me know. Is this supposed to be a member of one of the old Jerry Ostrander or the Golden Age Suicide Squads? I tried to look it up, could not find anything. So if y'all know, let me know. Supertron, I'm looking at you, buddy. Now, with that said, ads. Here comes Mira. She's the one that called the alarm, explains what's going on. But before they can get any further into it, go back to the battle, and in comes the Indigo Tribe. And one thing that always drove me nuts is how they always go knock, knock, click. Like even into the New 52, they just go knock, and you have no idea what the hell they are saying. And I wish there was a way you could kind of learn their language. That's one thing I will give Hickman. Even though the Krakoa and X-Men books have gone to crap, at least he kind of gave us a way to decipher the language. So as you see here, this is what I mean, is you see that the Indigo Tribe, they use the compassion light through their stabs rather than a ring. But you see that she harnesses the Green Lantern's willpower. And it says connection severed for a black ring. And she just starts blowing through them. And she kind of gives a backstory into how the emotional spectrum was severed, how it was white, then the darkness came and broke them up into all the different emotional spectrums right here, and who wields them. Great 90s style splash page, absolutely gorgeous. And this is where she says that the War of Light is coming. Each homeworld is being attacked by the Black Lanterns. And then there's a lot of reading, don't get me wrong, but it's interesting. You're actually learning something. It doesn't feel like a nothing burger per se, but it talks about how the spectrum needs to come together to fight back the darkness, to become light again. So whenever two or more power rings of a different spectrum are combined, they are able to kill the Black Lanterns. Now, before anything else can be said, Firestorm comes into the mix. And remember how he said there's a vacancy in his head where Professor Stein was? Well, and this also ties back to the important talk that him and Jen had at the beginning of the book, which at this point, there's nothing that Jason can do. And it's a hard read, this latter half of the book. But what also makes this rough, and I was talking about this a little while ago when we were going over Green Lantern issue 40, and remember how I was saying the Black Lanterns can look at you and see all the different emotional spectrums that you're going through? It's sort of like, I hate to use this example, it's like Jennifer's body, where when she was feeding on people, she's saying, I need you to the point, your peak of fear to feed on you. The Black Lanterns, before they kill and take your heart, they want you at the point of your highest emotional resonance, and that's when they strike. That's why when they start, they act loving. Jade, Arizia's family, etc., so forth. Or they just might straight up terrify you like, the elongated man did with Hawkman and Kendra, appeared and got them to the point of anger, confusion, sadness, and they struck. Took their hearts, made them part of the Black Lantern Corps. So that's why I said issue 3, packed with information that you need moving forward with the rest of the series. Love this issue, and it actually made me cry. So if you guys have enjoyed what you've seen or you're curious, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is you like to get your comics and action figures. Get this series, guys. Definitely one you want in your collection. If you enjoy the DC Universe in its entirety or just the Green Lantern Corps, you're going to enjoy yourselves. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate you taking a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little emotional spectrum bell next to subscribe, that way we can continue to upload content. You guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, I hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.